What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a solo hammock overnighter with quite a stealthy setup in the rain. So I've got some crazy weather rolling through here this week. It seems like last video we were in dead winter, frigid cold, icy, snowy. Today all the snow is gone and we've got rain and a little bit of freezing rain. But tonight it is supposed to be back to winter time with a forecast of -7 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow -10, and then throughout the week -15, -20. So being so close to the ocean here in Nova Scotia, you guys can see everything's green. We do get a warm breeze that comes through every now and then, and it feels like spring, and then we're tricked again right back into wintertime. So I decided to bring out the Hammock 5.0. I've got my camo tarp, hammock, and pad are already set up. I'm not going to put my sleeping bag in there until later on because it is very lofty, so keep that down in my backpack for now, but I do want to collect some wood before the rain comes in too heavy because it is raining right now. It's actually running down the tarp a fair bit, so we got fine rain. It looks like it's going to dump down, and I want to have some firewood because the only way that I have to cook my food tonight is on an open fire. So let's get the saw and let's get to work. All right, guys, so I've got the campfire ripping really nicely. I should mention that it is absolutely soaking wet out here. It poured with rain last night. It rained a little bit earlier on the hike in here, so the wood is all totally soaked. So it did take a minute to get the fire going, but once it was dry enough to go, it just took right off. Now we got a really nice hot coal base. I've been putting wet wood on there and it's burning totally fine. So campfire established. As long as I keep it going, I won't have any issues for the trip. That is my only source of heat and only source of cooking. So it's very important that I have a fire. Talking about cooking, I've got a hot cup of tea, guys. So regular viewers, you guys know that I do enjoy drinking tea. And new viewers, you guys see me drink coffee all the time. So I love coffee, I love tea. But the thing with tea is I've not been able to actually find a legitimate item to make tea and be a multi-purpose item. I finally found it, guys. So when I first seen this, I thought it was just a water flask, just a typical water bottle with a lid on it. You can use the lid as a cup, but it has a tea strainer inside of it. So this thing is a multi-purpose item that I can bring water, I can make coarse ground coffee in that filter, I can store cold drinks and they'll stay cold for a long time, and I can also make tea or infuse other beverages. So very happy with that find from Unigear. I'm really happy with it. The tea, can't go wrong with that. So now I have a perfect way of making coffee, which is my French press, my titanium pot, which you guys see in all other videos, which is a multi-use item. And now I finally found a way to justify bringing an item to make tea as it is multi-use. So cheers, guys. I'm going to take a break for a few moments, enjoy this tea, and then I think I am going to gather up a little bit more firewood because I am going to be cooking supper over the fire, and the sun is playing a little bit of peekaboo in the sky right now. So it's coming through and it's a little bit warm, but it is starting to cool off, and it is only a couple days into January right now. So I'm not going to let this weather fool me because I know it could change in an instant. So I'm going to relax with this tea and I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so what I'm doing right now is just getting my hammock squared away for later on this evening. There are a couple things that I like to do with this particular setup. One of those is I like to cut sticks. Now there is a pole set that you can get for this hammock, and basically they're aluminum poles that go in here like little tent poles. I don't have those, so I use little sapling sticks. I have it measured from my middle finger up to my inner bicep. That's the perfect length for me. So I've gone ahead and cut one for the foot box area, one for the head box area. So now the hammock's got full three-dimensional form. And I like to get the bug net situated because there is a shock cord here that keeps it up off my face. I just like doing all these little things in the daylight because in the dark it can be a little difficult to get everything set perfectly. So everything's good right now. All I got to do later on is fold the tarp back over and then climb in with my sleeping bag. And I'll show you guys a few tips and tricks that I picked up along the way using this system like how to zip it up, how to get your boots in, and all that stuff. So I'll show you guys that a little later on, but for right now, two things I've got to get done. The sun is dipping below the tree line, so it's going to be getting darker and colder. So one, I got to get moving to stay nice and warm, because my hands are actually getting cold. I do have my down jacket here, but you guys know that I don't like to use my down around fire, just because I don't want those embers melting holes in my stuff. So I'm going to be paying very close attention to where those embers are going now that it's not raining anymore. And secondly, I need to get some firewood and get it on the fire to start cooking. So it is going to be supper time very shortly, and I am starving and it's getting chilly. So let's get to work, guys, and then get some food on the fire. Alright guys, it is now time to start cooking. It is getting darker rather quick, and I don't want to lose the light. So fire's going nicely to get the pan on there. So I'll explain really quick what I've got. I brought 2 hamburger buns with me, so those are going to be toasted in a pan. Hopefully I can get those toasted nicely. We'll see what happens. But basically I've got a bag full of spinach and a red onion. I have a couple of slices of cheese. I've got some mayo, so I always put my condiments inside of a little bag and then I can just pipe it out instead of bringing containers and all that stuff. And then I've got 2 hamburger patties wrapped in a bag, and they're getting a little bit soft. So these were frozen when I came out here today, and where it is a little bit warmer, they're going to start to thaw out, which is perfect because they need to get cooked right now. So that is basically it. And then I've got my bottle of olive oil and my spice pouch to spice some things up. So the reason I'm mentioning this is I get asked often, how do I pack all that food? Realistically, this is not a lot of food. I mean, there's just a little bag of cheese, spinach, 2 hamburger patties, buns. That's nothing, guys. I like bringing real food rather than bringing junk as much as I can, as much often as I can, I should say. So bringing real food for me, no matter how heavy it is, I will pack in real food over fake food any day. And fake food, what I'm talking about is like ramen noodles and stuff like that. Even though I do resort to that sometimes, I really do enjoy bringing whole foods and cooking up a nice meal, especially after being out running around the woods, cutting firewood, working and hiking all day. It's nice to just eat some real food. So that's what I've got for tonight's supper. And I also have a new piece of gear with me. I've got a new Pomali titanium frying pan. So this has not been used yet, and I'm excited to use it. So let's get some oil in this pan, get it over the fire, get it nice and warm, and start cooking up some hamburgers, guys. Alright guys, supper time is all over. I'm just getting my sleeping area totally set up, all my gear packed away for overnight. And this is looking very inviting, I gotta say. So everything that I've got here tonight, I will mention that this is exactly how I would sleep if it were -15 to -18 degrees. And I'll go through some of the gear right now while I'm here. So for tonight, I've got my downfill Outdoor Vitals bag. This is 0 degree Fahrenheit, -18 Celsius. It's the green inner, and it is very, very nice. It's a top zip bag, meaning when you're in a hammock, you just lay down inside of it, and it zips up. There's no tossing and turning and trying to orientate the sleeping bag. So that's what I've got for there. I've already mentioned the pad. It is the Hammock Winterlight, I believe it's called. -18 rating on that, R value of 5. And then for clothing, so I'm going to be stripping out of these clothing, except for my hoodie, and I'm going to be changing into new socks. Now with that, I also have my slippers with me. These are Baffin boots. These pack down crazy small. Right now I've got a change of socks, and I've got some base layer pants inside of one boot. And then inside of the other boot, I have my Nature Hike downfill pants. Those are going to go on over top of my base layers. And the reason why I'm doing that is just in case this is too hot, I can unzip it, and the cold air that rushes in is not going to freeze me. I'm still going to have my down pants on, and then I've got my downfill jacket in that gear loft on the other side, just in case I do find it cold. So I can find a happy medium by unzipping this. The downfill pants are something I was already going to bring, and the down jacket was something I was already going to bring. This is just a neat idea on how to layer it and how to sleep. So that's all my sleep stuff organized. Get this back in here, and these gear lofts up here are probably my favorite features with this system. It's just, you can literally put everything inside of the hammock and then jump in at nighttime. There's no jumping out to grab anything because everything's already in there, including my nighttime snacks, which I have a little bit right here. So pop those in the stuff sack there, cinch it up with the draw cord. I've got my bottle of water in the bottle holder as well, so I probably have, oh, I don't know, maybe a cup and a half of water left over. I'm going to try and save that for the morning, but if not, I can always run over to the lake and boil up some water. The reason why I want to try and save it is I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have in the morning to actually boil water. I may just light a very small twig fire, enough to heat that up to do tea, and then hit the trail. So just wanted to show you guys this and give you the rundown while I still have some usable daylight. All right, well, it is definitely getting dark, and as you guys can see with my breath, it is cooling off quite a bit. It is now at 0 degrees Celsius. It is noticeably chilly, so I'm going to sit right next to the fire until it goes out, and I probably have maybe 3 or 4 more pieces of wood left. Not a whole lot, so maybe another 45 minutes or so. I've got the hammock squared away. I did bring my USB light bulb. That is what you're seeing right there, and those things are excellent. They weigh practically nothing. The battery bank to power it, I already have to bring to charge my camera batteries and other devices, so that is a awesome piece of kit to bring camping. I love bringing it. And the reason why I'm mentioning all of these things in this video is because I'm trying to round up all the questions and comments that I've been popping up and having to answer in many other comments on other videos. So I want to try and elaborate on what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how I'm doing it. So covering a lot of the sleeping stuff, the lighting stuff, the cooking, and some of that gear, and any other questions or comments that you guys have that I don't answer in this video, drop it down below. I just wanted to kind of round everything up in one video rather than do 10 separate videos on one topic. So that is what's going on over there. I've got my backpack down below with the rain fly on just in case there is blowing rain or snow later on this evening or possibly early morning. That is covered up, secured. I got my saw underneath of that, and everything else is up in the hammock, which is why I love that system. It's kind of like a tent in the trees, essentially. Everything is inside that I need, and it's not on top of me like a traditional hammock where everything slides into the center. With those gear lofts, it's really nice to have gear up and out of the way, and when you need it, you can simply reach and grab it. So this fire is definitely putting out some heat, and I'm gonna like sitting here for a few moments anyways, because I know it's gonna be cold moving around afterwards, but I'll be more than warm inside of there when I go to sleep tonight. All right, guys, well, I'm inside of the hammock right now, and I just hiked up my boots. I just want to go over how I did that really quick. I know a lot of people are going to say this is self-explanatory, but it helps to explain for some individuals. Here's the paracord that I have. So I already have it clicked on my hammock zipper. If I can get it off of there, I'll just show you guys how I do this. So it's just a piece of paracord with a little carabiner on it, 1.8 mil. This is what I use for guy lines for tarps. So I just clicked that onto my boot laces before I came in, and my boots are now currently hanging right here on the outside. So it's on the suspension, and I did end up putting both on one side just because it's easier to get them in the morning. So I have a carabiner clicked on to the actual ridgeline outside of the bug net. So it's not on my bug net, it's on the actual ridgeline itself. And then I've got my paracord back, so I unclicked it. Now I just take my paracord and my carabiner and I click it on to the bug net portion of the hammock. And this way, when I need to zip the bug net all the way closed, it is a reach to reach down towards the foot end. And if you reach all the way down, you can actually tip out of the hammock. So I don't like to do that. So what I do is I have it partially zipped shut, so that's why this keeps falling down. But now what I need to do is when I'm ready to go to bed or when I want to close up for the night, I just simply zip this all the way down to my feet. And when I can't reach with my hands anymore, I just hold on to the ridgeline up here and I take my foot and I keep pushing with my foot to zip all the way around. And then I bring it up on this side. And that is how I zip up. I know a lot of people do it differently. I've seen people use bungee cord. I just use a little piece of paracord. That way it's there. It's already a regular piece of kit. And I gotta tighten that back up because I pulled the zipper down to show you guys. But anyways, pretty basic how to get in and out. Now getting changed is super simple. I'm in layback mode, so it's in bed mode, even though I am sitting up in it right now, just to show you how stable it is, which is very, very nice. You bounce in it and it's just flat and stable. So I like to sleep on my stomach. That's what I'll be doing tonight, roll over on my stomach and sleep, and nice, totally flat. So I am going to be getting changed now, guys. So I just wanted to share that with you, just kind of run through how I do that, give you guys a look inside of the hammock. And that's it. That is it for tonight. So I can still see the fire is burning underneath the tarp. I'm going to leave this open for a little while, watch that. And then I have 2 movies that I want to watch. I've been watching the Fast and Furious, all of the movies, and I've got 2 left to watch. So I'm going to watch those both tonight. Hopefully I'll get through both. And then off the bed and up early in the morning. So good night, guys. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to winter time. So as I was saying yesterday, don't let the weather fool you because it could change in an instant, and this morning was proof of that. I woke up this morning, there was no snow, but I could feel and hear tapping on the tarp. I could actually feel it resonating through the hammock straps, little tiny taps inside of the hammock, and I knew that was ice. And by the time I made it out and down to the lake to go and get some fresh water, it is now snowing. So the tarp is completely covered in snow, and it's very cold out. It's about -4 degrees Celsius in comparison to yesterday. It's quite chilly. So this fire is actually putting out a fair bit of heat. It's nice and warm. I'm being very cautious of my jacket though, because I never wear down near fire, and the wind's going that way, the sparks are going that way, so hopefully with any luck it won't get damaged. But I've got a hot cup of tea on the go right now, guys. This is incredible. I love waking up in the forest of fresh snowfall, crackling fire, just a beautiful time. So cheers, guys, morning tea. Well, guys, this is absolutely incredible. Just sitting here, it's hard to put these moments into words. It is first thing in the morning, and I've already accomplished my goal, which was have an amazing day. And I've done that within the first hour of it. So this is the reason why I come out to locations like this in the cold, the winter, the summer. It doesn't matter. It's the experience. It has nothing to do with the gear. It has nothing to do with the toys. It has everything to do with this moment right here. All that fresh snow. I can smell the campfire. I can feel the warmth. I've got my tea. I've got my home in the trees hanging behind me. Awesome night last night. I slept beautifully warm. I slept primarily on my stomach, flat, and on my side, kind of curled up in a ball. Beautiful time in there, excellent sleep. And these moments right here, this is why I come out. So I'm really, really blessed that I can share these moments with you, because I do have a lot of viewers that are both deaf, can't see, and are in a wheelchair. So that's the reason why I like explaining things a lot while talking and saying it. Also visually showing what I'm doing very close with the camera. And not only that, it brings you guys out into the woods, into the wild, in the experience. So I get to share all of this with you guys. So thank you guys very much for tuning in and watching the videos. I do appreciate it a lot. But this moment right here, guys, this is what it's all about. So cheers. I'm going to let the fire burn out, tuck underneath of the tarp, and start packing up. All right, everybody, I've got everything packed away inside of the backpack under my butt, and I've got a few more moments to wait for the fire to continue smoldering till it's completely out. I don't want any coals left behind, so I'm going to do my part and just chill out here and wait for that to do its thing. I do have a little bit of tea left in my cup as well, so I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. But while I've got a few moments, I want to thank you guys for your support and tremendous generosity last year in 2021 and this year going into 2022. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and I'm always blessed that you guys are here to follow me on my trip and enjoy the outdoors with me. So with that said, this trip is over, and you guys know there will be more on the way. So thank you so much for joining me. Questions and comments down below in the description, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.